I'm Paige Barnett and welcome to ITV Art. Tonight I'm down here in front of the Prudential Building in downtown Seattle, and we're going to be taking a look at the Seattle Art Walk. I've got a number of really cool artists on hand, some from Russia, some from right here in downtown. So why don't you join me and we'll take a look together.
Promotional consideration is provided by ClubVibes.com. Club Vibes is the premier web guide to nightlife, nightclubs, and entertainment in the world. Club Vibes has all the latest nightclub information, concert listings, and event reviews. ClubVibes.com. Where do you want to go tonight? IndieClub.com. If you have a passion for making movies, using film or video, and are looking for others who have similar interests, then look no further. IndieClub.com is the premier site for networking others with the same filmmaking interests. IndieClub.com. Networking actors, filmmakers, and crew. And Elliott Insurance and Financial Services, a registered Farmers Insurance Group agent covering vehicle, home, life, and commercial. Elliott Insurance and Financial Services can help you find the right coverage for your needs. Visit them online at einsurancefinancial.com. Comic Book Inc. is proud to be Tacoma's oldest and largest comic book shop. We're located at 1625 East 72nd and Portland Avenue at the beautiful Johnsboro Station in Suite 800. Visit us at comicbookinc.com.
Energy, music, technology. Mad Malcolm Productions Incorporated. Electronic music production with music on the iTunes Music Store and available for licensing, and multimedia content creation. Visit madmalcolm.com for more information.
Hello, it's Sean again at Art Walk in the Prudential Building in Seattle, and we are here with V-Blast. I've got his card right here because I think it's pretty cool. And V-Blast is the name he goes by. His website is vblasto.com. And right now we're taking a look at some of his artwork. This is a guy who does amazing work right here. V-Blast, now, again, we talked a little bit before about your use of texture because you really like doing that in your work right here. Like this one in particular, I like the way that you've got it so that you can stand back and still see the dimensions of it. How about your use of texture in your art? Is that like one of your favorite things about making art?
Yeah, it's a really enjoyable part of it. Part of what I do when I'm painting is I enjoy the process.
Right.
And creating texture is all about process. Finding the right materials, mixing them together. The forms themselves are, very simple, and lay them down. I start doing texture. Start drawing out the material, making forms inside that, and then painting on that, and the painting will realize itself after I've started doing the texture work.
Now you had said that you have a kind of a limited palette, and I made mention of the fact that you use a lot of orange in all of your pieces, which I like it. It stands out a lot. Is that one of your favorite colors, orange?
It's actually a burnt sienna.
Burnt sienna, okay.
Which is closer to an orangish brown, I guess. Yeah, I like those earth tones. They're fun. They go well. People like them. I like them. They mix with a lot of decor, urban decor. You can put them in any type of house, almost. You can find this at a Victorian as well as modern setting, penthouse.
Right.
And it'd work well. And I like browns, so.
Now I'm not an artist myself in the sense that I don't create paintings, but I'm always interested in artists' stories and the things that inspire them and the way the art comes to mind. And one of the things that you told me was that you just recently had a son, 3-year-old son.
Yeah.
And that changed a lot of things about the way you see life.
Oh, it did. Extremely. Having a child changes everything about you. It's, you're the center of your universe till you have a kid.
Right.
All of a sudden, your center changes and it's him. And, beyond the fact that the first year, you have no sleep. So,
do you have any art pieces that go off with no sleep concept?
I've learned to live without sleep. I get about 5 hours a night because I stay at home and raise him, and then I paint afterwards. And I usually put about 6 to 8 hours in after I get done with my son. So, you know, I'm a non-sleep guy anyhow. You give me coffee, I drink about 2 pots a day, I'm good.
So how has your son influenced art or the way you see things?
Emotionally. I'm in touch with a lot more emotions in myself just because of him. I mean, I don't know. If you're not a parent, you can't understand it. I don't know how to explain it beyond that. It's so visceral. It's hardwired into you when you have a child, and you feel something. It draws all these things out in you, emotions of love, hate, fear, especially fear. You're always afraid for your child, and all that stuff comes out. I'm always thinking about my son. I'm thinking about 2 things: my family and my art. That's basically all I think about. I mean, I raise my child with my family. I paint. I do nothing else except maybe read a book here and there.
So how about this piece here? Let's talk a little bit about some specific pieces you have here. This one is called Big Change is Coming. What did that mean to you when you decided to call it that?
You know, actually, this is probably influenced by my child more than I'd like to admit.
I was thinking that big change is coming. It sounds like, you know,
Yeah.
kid on the way.
When you got a child, big changes are coming. And it was a reference from a book. I can't remember the name of the book, but it's when we got pregnant.
Awesome.
Big changes coming.
Right, gotcha.
And that's the way it is.
Thanks a lot for sharing your artwork with us. This is Sean with ITV Art at Art Walk in Seattle. Thanks a lot for joining us.
Promotional consideration is provided by ClubVibes.com. Club Vibes is the premier web guide to nightlife, nightclubs, and entertainment in the world. Club Vibes has all the latest nightclub information, concert listings, and event reviews. ClubVibes.com. Where do you want to go tonight? IndieClub.com. If you have a passion for making movies, using film or video, and are looking for others who have similar interests, then look no further. IndieClub.com is the premier site for networking others with the same filmmaking interests. IndieClub.com. Networking actors, filmmakers, and crew. And Elliott Insurance and Financial Services, a registered Farmers Insurance Group agent covering vehicle, home, life, and commercial. Elliott Insurance and Financial Services can help you find the right coverage for your needs. Visit them online at einsurancefinancial.com. Comic Book Inc. is proud to be Tacoma's oldest and largest comic book shop. We're located at 1625 East 72nd and Portland Avenue at the beautiful Johnsboro Station in Suite 800. Visit us at comicbookinc.com.
Energy, music, technology. Mad Malcolm Productions Incorporated. Electronic music production with music on the iTunes Music Store and available for licensing, and multimedia content creation. Visit madmalcolm.com for more information.
Hi, this is Paige with ITV Art, and I'm here today with Regan Mistrevic as a part of the Seattle Art Walk. Regan, tell me about this piece up here. You said it's a local artist who you know and support.
I do a lot of different work for musicians. I sometimes shoot, and I'm also a graphic designer, so I sometimes will shoot and design CD covers, posters, things like that. This one here is for a group called Honey Tongue. This is for a local classical violinist, I suppose. I had to look for a second. This is for somebody out in the Denver area. I've got a couple of different clients that I shoot for in Denver, a lot of different folk musicians and such down there. I enjoy shooting musicians because they allow me to sort of play with some different, slightly experimental, more creative kinds of looks to them.
Well, you photograph more than people. Why don't we take a look at some of your other art that's here today? I noticed that you have the Blue Angels.
I do. Those actually do have people in them, although you can't tell. Yes, I shot those actually for a friend of mine, a friend who was visiting from Switzerland and saw them one summer, really enjoyed watching them, and then she didn't get to see them the following summer because she moved back to Switzerland, and so I went out and shot these photographs for her.
Now explain how the people are actually in here.
Well, they're people flying.
Oh. Okay. There's a kind of an interesting story behind this one you were telling me about earlier.
This is actually a photograph that I did quite a long time ago, in fact, at the Hall of Mirrors at Versailles. It's about a 2-minute long exposure, and if you look at the image closely, you'll actually notice that room was just packed with people. Most of them, because of the very long exposure, have sort of disappeared into ghost-like objects in there. There does seem to be a family down there at the very end who didn't seem to be moving very much, because they are relatively clear in the photograph. But
Thank you, Regan, for joining us today.
thank you.
This is Paige Barnett with ITV Art.
Hi, this is Sean with ITV Art in the Prudential Building, heading up to the Art Walk on the 4th floor. Now we're going to see some more artists that are here debuting their stuff. Right now we've got a great one, Nathan Bowser. We're going to go down, check out his stuff right now. Here at Suite 401 is where the party's going on. Fully packed, as you can see, because a lot of people are here wanting to see the kind of art this man does.
Mother does for years after that.
Hey guys.
How's it going?
Nathan, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing very well.
And we're here right now with Nathan Bowser. And now, Nathan, we talked a little bit before about how you got started. Your grandfather was a photographer, your father was a photographer, and now you're doing a lot of visual art, but you're making your own rather than taking pictures yourself.
It's true.
Here are some of the artwork that you have. Can you tell us what it is that inspired you to take these people and make them into pieces of art?
Well, predominantly all of the people that I draw, everything that I really work from are people that I know, people that I care about, and I'm really excited about sort of the human condition. I really like to see the humanity that we all sort of have inside us. And I think it's really almost angelic sometimes when we can see when somebody's really truly human and really being very pure in what they're doing. And so that's something that I'm looking for. It's where I start the process, I think, and then the painting takes over, and I start, and then that sort of becomes its own thing.
So with these pieces, you find people who are in some kind of pose or emotive state that really strikes you. You take their picture, and you go back and you begin to create your artwork based on that.
Yeah, usually I try and sort of catch people off their guard. I don't want to be finding an incident. I sort of take the pictures and I take them madly, trying to get the most sort of spontaneous, real moment, and then I go back in and sort through those and find the ones that have the emotive gesture, have that sort of sense of humanity in it that speaks to me, and then I go from there.
Now, you said that you've been doing this, I mean, ever since you were a kid, you had interest in art, but you didn't really know, you didn't identify it as that until you got to college, right?
Yeah, that's really true. I was talking with some people earlier, and I was telling them about, they brought the young child in to see some, like, yeah, our daughter really likes drawing, and it reminded me that when I was like 4 and 5, my parents would take me to concerts, and I would draw the artists and get their autographs, and that was something that was really exciting to me. But I didn't ever think of it as an art thing. It was maybe a pastime or something that I did. And so even though my memory of things isn't that I've always been working, you know, there's sort of an artist cliche that I've always drawn or I've always worked in art. I didn't remember it that way, but sort of looking back on things, I realized that I have been working on some sort of art, especially visual art, drawing, painting, really since I was very little. And that's changed from, sometimes it's been poetry and sometimes it's been theater, and now and hopefully forever it's going to be making paintings of people that are important to me.
Why don't we take a look at some of the pieces you've got here? Like this one, for example.
Yeah.
Now, this one, Toy Helicopter, is this like a father and daughter, or these people?
It's kind of close. It's actually my wife and I.
It's your wife and you?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
whose helicopter is it? Is it yours?
It's actually my nephew's. This was taken at Thanksgiving a few years back, and it was a photograph given to us by my sister and her husband. And it was just us sort of inspecting this toy helicopter that was, you know, something had fallen on the floor. what was exciting to me about this is that we're sort of focused on we have a common focus. We're both enjoying something. That the picture came from people that I know, and that it sort of, there's a story in it that I know, was a starting point. It was something that gave me enough to look at things. There's this sort of pocketed what is it? It's a curtain, actually, that has all these pockets in it, and it was used by my sister's family to sort of store toys and whatnot. And I really enjoyed how that was the background. So it's coming sort of a family story. It's telling something about us, and that's where it started, at least.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Now, which one of these pieces, you have a whole bunch of them on the wall here.
Yeah.
What do you think would be your favorite?
My favorite? Oh, gosh.
Or maybe
one of my
favorite's too hard. Maybe something that really means something particular to you that you remember vividly.
This one just on this next column is really quite. It probably speaks to me and has multiple levels past anything else. This one, Oji-chan, in Japanese means grandfather, and this is my wife's grandfather, and he's in his early 80s. This was taken the first time I went to meet him, which was within the same week when Kaori and my wife and I got married. He's a veteran of World War II.
Really?
And was part of he was drafted and sent to go occupy various countries in Asia. And at the same time, my grandfather was working in the galley on Navy boats.
Really?
And went to Okinawa, and we actually have photos of when he was in Japan. So while Kaori's grandfather was away and doing something that maybe he believed in and maybe he didn't believe so much in, my grandfather was sort of taking his place in that country, and sort of there was this weird switch of roles, and it wasn't something I learned about until much later. And so this, to me, not only is a very special person in my life, but it's also a connection to history that I'd never even imagined that I would have. This is somebody that sort of has a place that my own grandfather had at a time as well. So that has a lot of personal meaning to me.
I can see how that would. Wow,
Yeah.
that's amazing. Well, Nathan, thank you so much for
Yes, thank
sharing
you.
your art with me, and also the story with all of our viewers about your wife's grandfather. That was really awesome, and so is your work.
Yeah, well, thank you very much. I appreciate the opportunity.
All right. So now we're going to go check out TJ. He's actually the one who's hosting this event right here in this location right now. And so right now we're going to go over to him. This is Sean with ITV Art. See you later. Hi, this is Sean with ITV Art, here with TJ. He's hosting this particular venue at the Art Walk here in the Prudential Building in Seattle. Now, TJ, you decided you were going to actually host an artist here. And how did you even come to meet Nathan?
We've known Nathan from our hometown. We grew up in Oregon together, and so when we moved into this space, we knew eventually we wanted to host artists, and we thought, what better than to host a friend of ours from Oregon? So it's both of our first shows. It's our first show and it's his first show, so we decided to come together and do our first shows together. So we'll be doing some more in this space from here on out, so now that we're set up for it.
So this, you figure to be a major focus of your life, hosting art and just giving a venue for artists to come and show off?
Absolutely. When we moved into this space, we immediately saw the potential to open it up. You know, art space in Seattle is so hard to come by, and you know, it's so expensive, and so we were glad to be able to offer it. So I do multimedia visual art, and at some point we'll do a show ourselves. But for now, it's the portraitures and the art on the wall, and we're glad to have them. So.
That's awesome. And other artists as well. I mean, right now we obviously have a visual artist, a painter. What other kinds of medium have you had here, or do you plan to have in the future?
Well, like I said before, this is our first show, but in the future, it's whoever wants to come. I know the building kind of has an ongoing list of artists that would love to show, and so we'll be open to anybody that wants to show. And if it gets to the point where multiple people want to, then we'll try to maybe host a couple of people at a time. But we're open to any kind of art, and so we just want to make it available and open the space up, and we're glad to do it.
Well, it's a great space. I mean, it's very open. You've got a really cool atmosphere. People come in. You've got a pool table in the middle.
Yeah.
You've got a hosted bar, so it is a great place, and you picked a good spot. So I hope you have a lot of success with it.
Yeah, we're hoping it's going to be a big thing in the future.
All right, thanks TJ
Thank
for
you.
talking to us.
All right.
This is Sean with ITV Art with TJ here in the Prudential Building, Art Walk, Seattle. Thank Thanks for watching.
Promotional consideration is provided by ClubVibes.com. Club Vibes is the premier web guide to nightlife, nightclubs, and entertainment in the world. Club Vibes has all the latest nightclub information, concert listings, and event reviews. ClubVibes.com. Where do you want to go tonight? IndieClub.com. If you have a passion for making movies, using film or video, and are looking for others who have similar interests, then look no further. IndieClub.com is the premier site for networking others with the same filmmaking interests. IndieClub.com. Networking actors, filmmakers, and crew. And Elliott Insurance and Financial Services, a registered Farmers Insurance Group agent covering vehicle, home, life, and commercial. Elliott Insurance and Financial Services can help you find the right coverage for your needs. Visit them online at einsurancefinancial.com. Comic Book Inc. is proud to be Tacoma's oldest and largest comic book shop. We're located at 1625 East 72nd and Portland Avenue at the beautiful Johnsboro Station in Suite 800. Visit us at comicbookinc.com.
Energy, music, technology. Mad Malcolm Productions Incorporated. Electronic music production with music on the iTunes Music Store and available for licensing, and multimedia content creation. Visit madmalcolm.com for more information.
Hi, this is Paige with ITV Art, and I'm here today with artist-in-residence Paul Kostinsky, and we're down here at the Washington Prudential Building at the Seattle Art Walk. Paul, would you tell me a little bit about your art today? What are you showing?
Ask her any question.
Any question?
Any
question. Well, what's your favorite art piece that you have down here today?
It's mine, obviously. I'm kidding. This crawling Iron Man.
This is your favorite piece?
Yes.
Of all of them that's showing. Now, this isn't yours, though.
No.
No.
It's a guest artist. I have two galleries as a guest artist this month. Usually I have one artist, up and coming, starting one, but this time I decided let's do something different.
So you show art out of your home then?
Yeah.
And it's also your studio?
I'm not sure it's my homeland because this art from Israel and I'm from Russia, but...
Okay. Now, of your pieces, where do you get your inspiration?
From my dreams.
From your dreams. And are they primarily paintings? What kind of medium do you work with?
Mostly paintings, acrylic and canvas.
Okay.
Sometimes ink on paper.
Do you have one that you'd like to show us today?
Ink?
Ink, yes.
Okay, what's this?
So Paul, you were telling me that one of your favorite mediums is ink. So could you tell me a little bit more about these pieces right here?
I wouldn't say it's my favorite. It's kind of side project. I still prefer to work on acrylics and canvas, but I got hooked in this one.
What about ink draws you to the medium?
Well, it's of all techniques I tried, it's probably the most difficult one. Because you see, it's all done with one brush stroke. No, I mean not all of this, but every line is done with one brush stroke. And it's the most difficult because you have to have it in your mind already. You cannot sketch it, you cannot predict it, you cannot make a mistake, and you cannot even hesitate. Because if you hesitate while moving brush, you get a big black blob on it. So your movement has to be swift, intuitive, and immediately correct. And this is the biggest challenge, because every classically trained painter knows how to correct mistake or how to incorporate your mistake in art and pretend you thought about this from the beginning. But yeah, no place for mistake, no place for hesitation, no place for being unsure what you're doing. This is why it's the most difficult medium. It's a challenge. I cannot accept the challenge.
Thank you very much, Paul, for joining us today. It was great talking with you. This is Paige Barnett with ITV Art. Hi, this is Paige with ITV Art, and I'm here today with Tanya Zeta, who represents some of the artists who are featured in the Downtown Seattle Art Walk. So Tanya, will you tell me about the company that you represent and that you're with, and maybe a little bit about the artists?
Sure. I'm with Phenomena. I'm the PR director and marketing director for Phenomena. And what we do is we represent multicultural artists, international artists. So what we do is we bring in their art, all the cutting edge art. If France has cutting edge artists, or if you go to Tel Aviv, then we will have them here in Seattle.
Okay.
We also do music, so we'll bring in bands. We have authors we bring in and have literary readings.
So the artists, are they global, or is it specifically from one area, for instance Europe or South America, as you mentioned Israel?
Well, what we're doing is we're opening up an art salon, and so every 3 months we will represent a new region. We just had a gallery opening for Israeli art, and we will hold that for 3 months. What we'll do is we'll bring in food, the music, literary readings of that region. So it'll be like you're walking into that space or that region.
Sure.
So it'll be different regions every 3 months.
So Tanya, what is cutting edge these days?
Well, I believe in the art world that you cannot actually depict what cutting edge is. Cutting edge is a perception of what people want. It's a feeling, it's a sense that you get from art.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for joining us today. We really appreciate it. And what was the name of your gallery again?
Phenomena. And we'd also like to thank Paul for allowing us to be in his loft.
Paul Kostinsky. Okay. Well, thank you for joining us today. I'm Paige Barnett, and this is ITV Art. This is Paige Barnett with ITV, and we're down here at the Prudential Building with the Seattle Art Walk. Can you believe the amazing art that we've seen tonight? The studio hosts, the guests, the patrons, and the artists themselves. It's just been amazing. Thank you for joining us at this segment, and I'll see you next time. I'm Paige with ITV Art.